everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Syifa from the Horticultural Crop Production Technology Study Program. Here, I will explain the material for the agricultural English course. Okay, the first material is a starting seed. A wide range of material can be used to start seed, from plain vermiculite or mixture of soil substrate to the various amended soil mix. What must be considered when choosing a substrate for starting seed is that it is smooth and uniform, has good aeration, is free from humidity, and has high fertility. One mixture which supplies this factor is a combination of 1/3 sterilized soil, 1/3 sand or vermiculite or perlite, and 1/3 peat moss. When starting to grow seed, you also need to pay attention to the container you will use. Such a material that are easy to obtain, easy to care for, and can produce uniform plant growth. Do not use garden soil by itself to start seedlings. It is not sterile, it is too heavy, and will not drain well. The next material is a seeding. The proper time for sowing seed for transplant depends upon when plant may safely be moved out of door in your area. This period may range from 4 to 12 weeks prior to transplanting. A common mistake is to sow the seed too early and then attempt to hold the seedling back under poor light or improper temperature range. This usually results in tall, weak, spindly plants which do not perform well in the garden. Extremely fine seed such as petunia, begonia, and snapdragon are not covered, but likely pressed into the medium or watered in with a fine mist. If these seeds are broadcast, strive for a uniform stand by sowing half to seed in one direction, then sowing the other way with the remaining seed a crossing pattern. The third material is a pre-germination. Another method of starting seed is pre-germination. This method involves sprouting the seed before they are planted. This reduces the time to germination, as the temperature and moisture are easy to control. The germinated seeds are relatively more expensive than conventional seeds and have a relatively short shelf life, but it's a convenient way to ensure a relatively high production rate from the seed being sown. The fourth material is germination. Germination will begin when certain internal requirements have been met. A seed must have a mature embryo, contain a large enough endosperm to sustain the embryo during germination, and contain sufficient hormone to initiate the process. There are 4 factors that influence germination, namely suspensory and continuous water supply, like oxygen to help the seed respiration process, and appropriate temperature. Next, a seed sowing technique. Which crop you are growing determine how the seeds are sown. Some can be direct sown where they are to grow. Others are sown in a seed bed and then transplanted to their final growing position. Others need to be sown either in pots and compost with heat. How to sow seed? First, direct sowing. Sow the seed directly into the drill and cover with soil that you have lightly fermented down. Always sow evenly and thinly to avoid excessive thinning out of the crop afterward. Then water the soil after sowing. Second, sowing outdoors. Sowing seed outdoors directly into a final growing place is ideal for gardeners who do not have much room to raise seed indoors in trying or propagators. The secret to success is to prepare a good seed bed, free of weed and with a crumble-like soil surface texture. The next material is a pollination and human livelihood. Pollination is a ketone process in both human-managed and natural terrestrial ecosystem. It is critical for food production and human livelihood, and directly link wild ecosystem with agricultural production system. In agroecosystem, wild and domesticated pollinators are essential for orchard, horticulture and forage production, as well as for the production of seed of many root and fiber crops. Pollinators such as bees, birds, and bats affect 35% of the world crop production, increasing output of 87% of the leading food crop worldwide, plus many plant their first medicine. Next is a pruning deciduous shrub. Pruning is important for a variety of reasons. Pruning can help control the size of shrub, direct growth, influencing flowering or fruiting, rejuvenate old, overgrown plant, or maintain plant health and approach. This is a type of pruning cut. First is thinning. Thinning preserves the overall plant shapes are particularly useful for shrub. The sucker from its base. Second is a heading back. Heading back can be used to reduce the height of most type of shrub. This technique entails removing each branch back to a large branch bud. Third is a rejuvenation. Use this technique for shrubs that are overgrown or leggy, and for shrubs that sucker readily from the base. The fourth type is a shearing. The technique involves the removal of new shoot using head shear. Shearing should be used only on formal hedge. The fifth type is a pinching. The technique involves the removal of shoot types, allowing for additional side branching. Pinching increases the bushiness of a shrub. The sixth type is a dead heading. This technique involves the removal of spent flower by hand. For some shrubs, such as Japanese sprayer, dead heading can encourage a second flow of flower. The last material is managing insect pests. One of the most important strategies for dealing with insects is to learn about insect life cycles, behaviors, habitat, and diet, and recognize which are pests and which are actually leading you a helping hand. A combination of the following mechanical and cultural strategies usually work well to reduce damage caused by insect pests without harming beneficial insects.